And as God keep on taking you from grace to grace and different levels, there are those friends you must drop. I'm sorry, but I'll say this without apologizing. Some friends hold you back.
Okay.
Why? There is something called, and I think it's Oprah who said, if you have a friend who is jealous of you, you need to drop them. Because every level God is going to bless you with, if your friend is getting jealous instead of playing for you and supporting you and clapping for you, they will pull you down somewhere.
What if I am clapping for
you down somewhere? If you're clapping me, that's your good friend.
No, I could be, I'm clapping for you, but deep down niko na kinyongo. How will you know?
Eventually you will know.
Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is Unfiltered with Shan, and this is where we talk about life, different aspects of life, and we also talk about self-care, self-development, self-improvement, anything to do with you as a person and your wellness generally. So if this is your type of content, welcome, and we are so glad to have you here. And by the way, thank you so much for the love that we've been getting on our previous video on people pleasing, and that motivates us to do even more and to have these conversations. And today I am joined again by the lovely Paris Muthia. How are you, Paris?
Hello Shan, how are you?
I'm doing very well today.
I'm humbled to be here again with you.
Thank you so much. And by the way, I'm really getting a lot of engagement from people and the advice that you're giving us.
Okay.
And I do not take that for granted. So thank you so much for being here once again.
I'm humbled.
Yeah. So maybe to the people who don't know you, or maybe they might have missed the previous episode, but then you should watch the previous episode. Please reintroduce yourself. Just a short introduction. Right. Then we'll go forward from there.
Okay. Welcome to Paris Muthia TV with Shan. Again, for those who are new here, like she said, I'm Paris Muthia. I like to say I am a middle-aged woman on 5th floor, a mother of two, what we call entrepreneur. You know, I am in business world. I treat skin. Timeless Medical Spa is one of my businesses. I sell skincare. Oxygen Botanical Kenya, it's another of my businesses. So I enjoy everything to do with skin. Let's call it skin science, skin wellness, skin health. That's who I am. But more importantly, I'm a human being, a citizen of this world. And today, I'm honored to be here with Shan because, you know, it's like she's like my daughter, right? Yeah. You honestly have my age, and it's so fun to have this interaction with you and just sharing wisdom. Wisdom, you know, I'm learning from you as you're learning from me, and I'm really loving these sessions.
Thank you so much. So today we're going to be talking about a very important aspect of life, and I feel that we're overlooking so much, and that is friendships. And today we are going to talk about navigating through friendships in different seasons of life. You have completely said, and it's true, that you're half my age.
Yes.
How do you handle your friendships now? And I'll share my own perspective of friendships and all of that.
Yes.
So is it easier for you to make friends now? Like, let's just look at the whole dynamic of friendships first. And before we get there, what are the kinds of friends that you have? What is the kind of friendship that you look forward to or that you have in your life?
Friendship is very broad. It's a big, because now, as you've just said that, and you said, you know, you have my age, and I'm trying to think, okay, the kind of friendship I had on my 20s or even pre-teenies, you know, there's those friends you have. Then there is the friends you have when you're on your teenage life. Then there's friendship you have when you are youth. That young, we call it young adult. The young adult, when you're starting to now test the adult life and realizing adulting is not easy. Those kind of friends.
At this age, I'm like, I'm still a child. The world is
You want to claim to be a child again. You're like, Mom, I'm sorry. I said I wanted to leave home when I turned 18. So there's that. And then there's now the friendship that you build when you're already mature.
Okay.
You get. And so to me, I feel friendship come in different form of shape.
Okay.
And there's seasons. There's friendship who will come to you because of certain season. For example, where you were born, you didn't choose.
Yeah.
True?
That's true.
So you found yourself, maybe, let's say, for example, I don't know where you were born. Which are you born in Kenya, by the way? Are you Kenyan?
Yes, I am born in Kenya, born in Nairobi.
You see? Now, maybe I wasn't born in Nairobi, right? For me, I'm Kenyan, born in Nanyuki, right? For example,
Yeah.
So now, the environment that I was born with, sometimes there's those friends that environment influenced that friendship.
Okay, yeah.
The kind of neighborhood you are in, the people you grew up seeing as your neighbors, they tend to be your first friends.
True.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are very right.
Your neighbors' kids, if your neighbor has a kid that is same age as you, or maybe a little bit younger or a little bit older, your first friend tend to be that. But before we even get there, the first friendship start with your parent.
Okay.
How do you learn to be? No, seriously, how do you learn to even be a friend? You start by who teach you how to be a friend?
Yeah, your parents.
Right? Your parents are the first people you get to know, you get to like, you get to see every day, and you develop some sort of you long for them when they're not there. As you're growing, literally I think your first friend is your mother. The first friendship that you cultivate is your mother, because mother seems to be, their job is to nurture.
Okay.
So we tend to be in our mother's life on our first maybe 5 years of life before we start even going to kindergarten, nursery school. It's our parent, right? And more a mother.
And does it apply to both genders? Because it could be mother, daughter, or just both genders?
I think it's both genders. Whether you're a boy or a girl, who is honestly nurturing you when you're born? Most of the time is the mother. I'm not saying the dads are not, because there's some dad who even a stay-at-home dad.
Yes, that's true.
I hear you guys are doing that thing where there's a stay-at-home dad because the mother is the one who is going out. So there's all those kind of dynamic. So that's why I'm saying more parent. Yeah, I think the first friendship is built by the parent. Yeah, the child-parent kind of relationship that tend to be friendship before it's now changing. A child start realizing, oh, when I go to school, there's my friend. Innocently, you hear innocent kids saying, oh, that's my girlfriend, that's my boyfriend. Doesn't it start from that young age? It's because they start realizing, oh, there's something special about this little girl, or something special about this little boy that I'm seeing every day. Yeah. There's some things I like about, maybe you're fighting over toys, and then there's this little girl or little boy that just come to a child and say, here, you can play with it. And all of a sudden a friendship between the two little ones start there, and they're innocent. They're only 2 or 3, but they're starting to learn about, I think this person like me. I think this is a good person. Yeah. So I feel like most friendship start there. Okay. It starts from parent, child, and then it goes to who is our neighbor, who is the person we are hanging with, who is that person I see every day. Sindio? Yeah, that's then true. Now we start moving to friendship of choice. Whereby now, I don't know about you, but I remember when I was in school, whether that be primary or high school, there was clique. There was this group of, this is my clique, this is my group, these are my friends. Yeah. And then there's another group, these are my... By the way, why do people do that? What made people choose that?
I think similar interests.
Similar interest.
Yeah, like that makes you maybe form that clique. Because when you're in that clique, maybe you go together everywhere. You do certain things together, and that makes you joint. Right?
Yeah. And sometimes in school you'd find it's people maybe that you enjoy a certain subject with.
From
maybe you belong to... You see?
Yeah.
If you went to a boarding school, yes. Yeah. I'm from Nairobi and I was taking a school in Nyahururu. Yeah. Now we form this friendship just because we have something in common. True. Where we come from becomes something we have in common. Yeah. So friendship, honestly, are formed based on even seasons of life. Yeah. Right? What season are you in your life? And so sometimes and that's why you need to know when the friendship have served you
Oh, so there's actually a limit when it comes to friendships.
Not all friendship are meant to last a lifetime. Some
That's interesting.
are, some don't. For example, now let me speak for me. There's a question you asked before I go out. What was the question again before I find I'm going out?
Like, what do you look for in friendships?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, for me to answer that, what do I look for in friendship? Few things first. Honesty. Are you an honest person?
Okay.
Integrity. Do you have integrity? Because you see, your friend, they say this, I think there's a saying that say a friend is closer than a brother.
Yeah.
Friend is closer than a brother.
Yeah.
When you become my friend, there's some things I can tell you that perhaps I won't tell my brother, my sister, my mom. You're my friend for a reason. Why?
Yeah.
Because maybe you're my confidant. Maybe that's why I've chosen. And that's why I'm telling you this different kind of friends. You have to be very careful that you are not becoming my confidant and you are just meant for a short duration season of my life. And now I've poured on you so much that when you finally leave because that season is over, I'm affected. So what quality do I look for when for me personally as Perisputia? That you have to have integrity.
Yeah.
Honesty, do we have something in common?
Okay.
Do we? Because how can we be friends if seriously I'm struggling to even have a conversation with you?
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Like, have you had friends that you really have different interests? Have you ever had such kind of friend? Like, you learn from each other?
For sure, but there must be, the truth of the matter
there must be a common
there
factor.
has be something that is common ground somewhere. Whether that be, because I like friendship that, in fact, have you ever seen friendship whereby people look at you, they're like, how are you even friends?
Yeah.
Like, really, people, according to people, when they look at you, you have nothing in common. You don't dress the same. You're not talking the same. You're not eating the same. You are arguing all the time. And people are like, how are you even friends? Yet that is your best friend.
Yeah.
It happened. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at the nitty-gritty of that relationship, there is something. There is something that you have in common. Whether that is how you are brought up, that you relate on that. Whether that is your jobs that you are doing. There have to be something. I don't believe you can be friends if there is nothing that actually
binds you together. And I think this is the perfect time to ask our audience whether they think that is true. Do you think that you should have similar interests with someone for you to be friends? And if you think like that, you can share your opinions. And if you're of the contrary opinion as well, feel free to talk to us, right? Yeah, maybe we could be wrong, but yeah, we can continue the conversation.
Yeah, because do you agree with that though? First, before I continue, why now? Let me be the one like is asking you question. For one, the host is being also asked. How do you choose your friends? Before we continue, what makes you choose your friends?
For me, I feel like it's common interests, but it doesn't mean that I don't have different friends, because I feel like people have different characteristics that I may like that are not in this other person that we're in a common sync or we have common interests. So for me, first, when I am looking for a friend, do our values align? There are things that I do not do and you do. And also doesn't mean that I'll cancel you. But you see, some friendships, they just happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So value. Another thing, do we vibe? Because I can't be the only one talking in our friendship. I'm the only one ndio na bamba, but for you umenyamaza too. I think even my personality with my friendships matches. They have to match.
That's why I said there has to be something that is common ground. There has to be something. Because imagine you cannot have a friend. Have you ever become a friend, friends with somebody you've just met? Like you feel like you know them forever.
Yeah.
Like you've met somebody.
And then it's like,
you went to an event, you meet with somebody,
and
you're vibing. I like what you use that word. You're vibing. Everything is just seems to be seamless. You're talking. It's like you know each other forever. But then, as you continue meeting them, slowly but surely you realize we don't. Wait a minute. We're vibing, yes, but our values
they don't go together.
It happened, right?
And could be even vice versa. Like your values are aligned, but you're not vibing at all.
So you need to be very careful when you go with that thing just called vibe. Because it could be you are just vibing because of the topic you talked about that day.
Oh, yeah.
It could be you vibe because of the environment that day. It was just that kind of environment. So when you're choosing friend, it has to go beyond the first. I think it's like dating.
Yeah.
You can't decide you're marrying somebody with the first date.
So you don't believe in love at first sight?
I believe in it also, but I think it has to go beyond the first date.
Okay.
I don't think you can meet somebody today, you've never known them, you've never met them, and because you're vibing now, tomorrow they are your wife and they are your husband. You know, it has to go beyond the feeling of the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's where you start looking at the character.
Yeah.
That's where I was talking about their integrity. Are they trustworthy? What kind of person are they?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So to me, I think friendship, it comes to that. And you have to know, when you're looking for a friend, are you looking for a seasonal friend for a certain reason? People are very good at that.
Like I should have that in mind.
For
Like
example,
I'm just
you've
friends with-
traveled.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, you are in a new environment.
True.
And you're like, okay, I left my friends at home and I'm here. I must find somebody we're going to vibe for the time I'm here.
Yeah.
Now, Shan, mi nimekuja, we've met, and I'm looking for a friend for a short duration or for a season of my life, meaning I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
And you now, because we vibed, you've taken this is my permanent friendship. Do you see how...
Yeah. And do you think friends should actually communicate this at the beginning of the friendship? Because mimi naweza kuwa I'm invested in becoming a long-term friend. But wewe uko like, huyu ni hapa, nikitoka hapa, tunaachana. For example, you make a friend at work. They say, oh, work, you should not have friendships. But I believe there are friendships that can come out of work.
True.
Then, once job imeisha, that's how you talk. Maybe I wanted to be reaching out and talking to you. But wewe uko like, huyo tu alikuwa wakazi, and that's it. Do you think that people should communicate this expectation
No, because
first?
what happened, there was a miscommunication between our friendship.
Okay.
Me, I knew this is a seasonal sort of friendship. We are only friends because we report to the same boss.
Guy.
We are only friends. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Because there is a kind of, what do you call it? Something we are working towards.
Yeah, have a common goal.
You have a common goal.
Yeah.
So, and for this common goal to become successful, we must sort of become friends, because now we're talking more, because maybe after work, we are talking because we want that assignment to go well. So now I get so invested in you because we are spending a lot of time together, whether that's on the phone or physical, you know? And so now if you are not a good lead of character, you might take this to be, wow, this is a good person, this can make a long-term friendship.
Yeah.
But you forgot it's a two-way street.
Yeah, it is a two-way street. Friendship is a two-way street. Yeah.
Every relationship is a two-way street.
Oh, yeah.
Every relationship is a two-way street. So maybe you are leading so much into mine, thinking, wow, this is a long-term friendship. But me, I'm just invested in this friendship to finish this goal, to achieve this goal. I am here. I'm employed by Paris Budia TV.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to Shan only when I go to Paris Budia TV.
Yeah.
I'll make sure Shan is my friend because we have this thing in common. But after Paris Budia TV is done, Shan go her way, I go my way. We don't have to meet for a drink. We don't have to meet for coffee. I don't have to hang with you.
Then do we call that friendship?
That's now
because
I
what
wanted
is
you
that?
to come to that.
Yeah.
That means we're just acquainted.
Yeah, we're just.
You're not my friend.
Do we overplay?
But a lot of people mistake the friendships to that.
Yes.
We're just acquainted, but now you assumed I'm your friend.
Yeah.
But I'm not. We're just doing something together, and now you think you know me, and you think I'm your friend. But it's you thinking that. We did not sit down and decided we are going to be friends. Because I feel at some point, especially in the world we live today, if we are friends, we even have to come with rule of engagement. Have you ever watched that movie, Rule of Engagement?
No.
There's a movie called Rule of Engagement. Because as my friend, at some point, maybe you are kind of friend that want me to come to your house all the time, to hang in your house.
Yeah.
Na mimi, I'm that kind of a person who just like to stay in my house in my pajama. I don't don't want to come to hang at yours.
Yeah.
Now, because I'm refusing to come to yours, you think I'm not a good friend. Are we compatible or not compatible?
So how do I guard my heart? Ndio nisivunjike moyo. Like, what is the approach that I should be looking at? Now, advise me. Like, how should I be looking at friendships when I meet someone?
I don't think there's a light way or the
Okay.
long way, because just like marriage, you date, like, you're not married. I
Yeah.
am married, right? But
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe you're dating somebody. Now I'm asking personal question.
Next question.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
before you decide who is the one,
Yeah.
you might not even date somebody, but you could have had few friends.
Okay.
And out of these friends, maybe it was born a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You decided this is a special friend.
Yeah.
But you had to have few people to decide which one is this special. And what made them special is the connection you had.
All
Is the
right.
vibe you're calling it, you are vibing. Is the
Yeah.
value. It's, they open up, the way they were opening up to you, the way you talked and you felt like you know each other forever. There was something. When they are in your presence, you feel good. You feel you don't
Yeah.
have to pretend.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend to be, how you know this person should be my friend is when when I'm with you, I don't even have to pretend anything I'm not.
Yeah.
If I normally love a nice no, if that's the kind of person you are, when you love, you start making sounds.
Yeah.
You start that you're making that laugh and you don't even care. Are they going to judge? Because you feel at peace.
Yeah.
You feel happy. You feel comfortable. You don't feel judged. You're being yourself.
Yeah.
But if it's a friend where when they call you, they say, I'm coming to, you're starting to put makeup because, oh my God, they've never seen me with makeup. Oh, do I look okay? You're looking in the mirror like 20 times. Do I look okay?
Yeah. Have you been in that
Are
kind
you
of friendship
being
before?
yourself?
By the way, let's put in people pleasing hapo. Have you been in such a friendship whereby you feel like I have to prove to this person that I am a good friend and they have to accept me?
And you're trying so hard.
Yeah, you try so
to
hard.
be at their level that you think they will only accept you as a friend because
You're that level.
My friend, that's fake friendship. Because eventually you get tired.
Yeah.
You can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
You're pretending to be something you're not. Just to impress a friend that you think you want to be. But are they really, do they even want to be your friend? Let's start there.
Yeah.
It's you who want to be their friend. They perhaps care less. Or they even don't want you to be like them. That's why they want you to be their friend. But here you are trying so hard to be like them, and then they are looking for another quality, and you're trying to be. So to me, how are you going to look for a good friend? How do you know this? To me, that's one thing. Watch that. How are you with them? Are you being yourself? Are you trying to pretend to be something you're not? Are you faking, even fabricating story when you're in their presence just to look good and to smell good to them, not to you, to them? Then I think that already is a friendship that is meant to die, because it means if you continue with it, you will always pretend to be something you're not. And soon or later, you'll hurt yourself.
That's true.
Not even the other person, like you'll hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Kama kuforce issues.
Friendship should not be forced.
Yeah.
It should come natural, and you shouldn't have to feel to be anything but yourself.
Yeah.
At any given time, if you feel you have to be something else but yourself with a person, then that person is not your friend.
Yeah.
That person is an acquaintance. That is it called acquaintance? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah.
This is what Murima. So, that person is just to be meant to. It's somebody you know. To stop calling them my best friend. When my daughter was young, everywhere we went and met a child, Mom, meet my best friend. She's very friendly. She's a people person, my first one.
Yeah.
She can make friends with trees. Mom, meet my best friend. So as she was getting older, I had to sit her down and explain to her, not everybody you meet we call best friend.
Yeah.
Best friend has to earn that title, a best friend. Because if you just met somebody, how can be their best friend? They don't even know your name.
Yeah. And people
You
have
don't
that
even know
taboo.
their name.
But then I've had people calling me their best friends. I'm like,
Am I
when
really?
did I consent to being your best friend? It should be mutual, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It should be mutual. And I think that's when we get hurt by so-called best friend, because we thought they were our best friend, but they didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or they thought we were their best friend,
Friends.
but we didn't know that.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And now that we've talked about that, let's talk about your friendships in your 20s when you were married young. How did that change for you? And also, Pia, talk to us about your friendships in your 50s. Now that you've mentioned you're an entrepreneur, maybe do you have only fellow entrepreneur friends? Or how is that? Because in the current society, if you look at it, nowadays you're just choosing people who are beneficial for you. That's how we're choosing our friendship.
Yeah.
But are there friendships that 70-30 rule? Is there a 70-30 rule? Or basically, I hope I've not bombarded you with so many questions.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, on my 20s, the friends I had then, before you asked before I got married and after I got married, as fate would have it, when every time you change your title, whether that is I'm a student, I'm a mother, I am a dad, I am I'm working now, I'm working class. Friendship has to shift a little bit. There are those that stays with you. Okay. There are those that friendship will be tested throughout seasons of life. So I am one of the lucky ones, and I'm humbled while I say this, to say that I have friends now that I knew on my 20 that are still my best friend now, even at this season of my life, on my 50s. There are not many. A lot have fallen along the way. Why? Like we said, season of life. There are those friends that were meant to be in my life just because on our 20s, maybe we just had something in common. We went out together. You get?
Yeah.
Maybe we loved dressing a certain way together. We worked together. And then as my seasons of life changed and I got married, I became a mother, maybe the value did not align. And so some had to. Maybe I moved. You know how we said there's some friendship that are cultivated because of environment. I moved the country, I moved the area code, something like that. And so that friendship was tested and did not
survive.
True?
Yeah.
Others is because, okay, when you get married, maybe your friends were single. There are those that you continued being friends with, but there are those that you drop because maybe now you, again, like I said, your value did not align. Now you're somebody's wife. Maybe you could stay home outside before until certain hours. Now you are a mother, you need to go home early. Maybe now you are topics that you talked about have changed before you were married. Maybe you were talking about dating. Now you see the value have changed, the topics have changed, and the vibe is not vibing anymore. Again, some friends will they drop. And as God keep on taking you from grace to grace and different levels, there are those friends you must drop. I'm sorry, but I'll say this without apologizing. Some friends hold you back.
Okay.
Why? There is something called, and I think it's Oprah who said, if you have a friend who is jealous of you, you need to drop them. Because every level God is going to bless you with, if your friend is getting jealous instead of playing for you and supporting you and clapping for you, they will pull you down somewhere.
What if I am clapping for you?
Down somewhere. If you're clapping me, that's your good friend.
Because I could be, I'm clapping for you, but deep down niko na kinyongo. How will you know?
Eventually you will know by this. If you have this kind of friend, whenever you tell them good news, it's received with some sort of, but the face is saying something else. Have you ever seen?
I have
seen
had
these people
friends.
who they say one thing, but the face is
showing a totally different thing.
You want to tell them, please remind your face that you're clapping for me and you're happy for me because you're clapping like this. Oh, that is good, Paris. Oh my God, that's good. But are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, if it was me, if you ask me, I wouldn't do that because if that because should be aligned with good because. And as a friend telling me, as your friend, I think you're moving very fast because of this and this. Can we go together, find out what you see? That's a supportive friend, working with you because they don't want you to go in a ditch because they didn't tell you. But those ones who are clapping with you, but then behind your scene, tomorrow you hear they told someone else that, Shan, anajisqueeze, anajilinga guy, ati alipata job. Oi, amepromotiwa, squeeze yani supervisor. Sasa squeeze, and that's supposed to be your friend.
Yeah.
A good friend is who speak good of you
things.
even when you're not there.
Yeah.
A friend who alum you're not in, they speak well of you. That's a good friend.
Okay. Paris has said a very, very important fact. Friend or a good friend should speak good of you even when you're not there. So as you continue to watch this is just part 1 of navigating through friendships in different seasons of life. And for you to watch and to join our conversation more, stay tuned for a part 2 as you get more wisdom from Madame Paris and I. So thank you so much for joining. This was part 1. Stay tuned for the second part as we continue with this conversation.